up, we discover why Taiwan's dialysis patients is on the rise and what the government is doing to help. And Tzu Chi College of Technology works in partnership with another school to hold summer camp for students in Hualien. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. First up, in the United States, we join Long Island Tzu Chi volunteers who organized a charity sale on July 13th at their local office in New York and later donated money raised to help those in greater need.
Despite the rain, New York Tzu Chi volunteers in Long Island continue to prepare for the yard sale. Luckily, just before the start of the charity event, the rain stopped.
Many Tzu Chi sisters have been preparing days before the event, such as sorting the items and putting the price tags on. The weather wasn't great, so we didn't know if we could start the charity sale on time, but once we started, the rain stopped.
Many second-hand items were donated by the volunteers. Upon learning that all the money will be put to good use, many people gladly make a purchase.
I had a very nice experience talking about what this organization does. I feel very good about people that want to express compassion and kindness and help other people and that care about other people.
This is the first time we organize a tech sale in East Williston, so many local residents come to look around. We hope to use this chance to introduce Tzu Chi to more people.
Through the charity sale, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to introduce the Buddhist NGO to more community residents and inspire them to join their ranks.
Every 6 months, Thailand Tzu Chi volunteers visit their care recipients to get an update of their situation and provide them with the necessary support. As volunteers recently carried out a large-scale home visitation, they were happy to see that several care recipients were inspired to give back to society. Some bought recyclables while others donated spare change to Tzu Chi.
This is Tzu Chi care recipient Cha Long Suk. Over the past several months, he has tried his best to collect recycled cans and bottles, which he plans to give to Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi volunteers encourage us to give back to society, so I collect these recyclables. My neighbors also gave me recycled cans and bottles and ring poles. I collect them and give them to Tzu Chi. I think this is a way to help people.
Despite living in poverty, Tzu Chi care recipients still try their best to do good deeds, as many of them join the volunteers in sorting recyclables. And several other recipients donate their spare change to Tzu Chi. As part of their periodic survey for care recipients, Tzu Chi volunteers visited and brought subsidies to some 180 households in Bangkok's Klong Tay district and Ayutthaya province.
I am happy to see Tzu Chi volunteers show up in our community and help local residents in Ayutthaya province. I will follow in the Tzu Chi volunteers' footsteps. I have been a volunteer for 2 to 3 years now, and I have had a good time. I think I will keep serving as a community volunteer.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's many years of dedication in local communities, more and more care recipients have been inspired to join Tzu Chi's ranks as the seeds of love continue to spread.
In 1962, Myanmar adopted a socialist government which turned one of the most prosperous countries in Asia into one of the world's poorest. However, in the past 2 years, political changes leading to democracy are happening throughout the country. The Myanmar government hopes this switch is enough to revive their economy. But is this change enough for local residents? We take a look at a day in the life of a local Burmese Chinese, Liu Pei Fong, who has lived in the country through various political hands.
This is Yangon Province's Chinatown. 90% of the Chinese population of Myanmar live in this area. 80-year-old Liu Pei Fong opened the first dry cleaners in this country 55 years ago.
It was difficult to start a business here because we didn't have the skills, so we relied on the workers' talents. When the store was busy, they would not show up to work, and when there was not that much work, they would come and want a whole day's pay. It was hard to keep afloat. Whenever they felt like, the workers would also report us to the government and say we were underpaying them.
As hard as it was to make a living in a foreign country, Liu thought everything was fine as long as he could still make ends meet. Never did he think that another obstacle was to be thrown at him.
My store was one of the first ones that were vandalized. They took my customers' clothes and burned them.
The Myanmar government incited a massive anti-Chinese movement, frightening local Burmese Chinese residents. Even after the protests were over, worries are still hidden deep in Liu's heart as the country's political uncertainty remains unresolved.
It's not perfect, but we have hope. Hope that things will get better.
This tea club, made up of 20-some Chinese, gather every morning to drink tea, chew the fat, and look out for each other, much like brothers would.
We've known each other for 40 to 50 years now. We are very close.
Liu mentions that in all the years he's lived in Myanmar, this tea club has become the center of his life over the past few years. He is glad to have met these friends in his golden years and enjoys their camaraderie and companionship.
Taiwan is known to have the highest number of dialysis patients in the world, with some 70,000 residents receiving treatment on a regular basis today. Our national health insurance subsidizes the cost of dialysis treatment, which means that the government is spending some 30 billion NT dollars each year on this sector alone. In today's report, we find out why the number of dialysis patients continues to increase and what the government is doing to help our citizens.
It was like falling from heaven to hell. Every time I think about getting a needle injected, I'm quite scared and don't really want to receive the treatment. I had to lie on my back for 4 hours. You try lying at home and not moving. You can't turn or twist, and your back gets sore. You'll keep looking at the clock and wonder why time passes by so slowly.
Lin Sun-do received 3 dialysis treatments every week, with each some 4 hours long. Having been wrongly diagnosed and not using the proper medication means that Lin became a dialysis patient when he was only 21.
At first, I took herbal medication for 2 years. It was given to me for free and I was on it for 2 years.
In our culture, those who are not ill also take medication to strengthen themselves. People are always taking some form of Chinese or Western medicine or any type of herbal medication. But when it comes to getting it out of our system, it might have a great impact on our kidneys.
The dialysis machine acts as an artificial kidney that helps Lin get rid of unwanted waste, such as water and urea from the blood, so to keep his body functioning. Taiwan's dialysis treatment dates back to 1963, and 5 decades have gone by since the first dialysis machine was brought in by the National Taiwan University Hospital.
In the first 3 decades that the dialysis machine was introduced to Taiwan, it still wasn't commonly used. And that was probably due to the expensive cost and long hours of treatment.
Over the past decade, the number of dialysis patients continues to rise. In 2003, the number stood at 45,000, and by 2012, it went up to over 70,000, which is an increase of 3,000 patients per year, earning Taiwan the Dialysis Kingdom title.
we have set aside a specific fund for dialysis treatment. In 2003, we used up 22.4 billion NT dollars, and by 2012, that number went up to 31.1 billion NT dollars. It went up by 8.7 billion in a decade.
Though Taiwan's dialysis patients continue to increase, however, it does not mean that Taiwanese citizens are more likely to suffer from kidney disease.
Of the dialysis patients in Taiwan, diabetes is still the #1 cause of kidney problems, accounting for 40%. The second cause is chronic nephritis, which is an inflammation of the kidneys. The number of patients is quite similar to that in the US or Japan.
In fact, the increase in dialysis patients in Taiwan each year is similar to that of other countries. The main cause behind the rising number is because in 1985, the National Health Insurance began subsidizing the cost of dialysis treatments, making kidney patients more willing to receive medical care. To reduce the government expenditure, the health department in the recent years has been actively promoting health education and screening to help residents stay fit and discover their kidney problems at an earlier date.
We hope that the hospitals will help patients who are in the early stage of their illness find out more about their condition, and that medical staff will provide the necessary health education.
When the number of kidney patients decrease, so will the number of those receiving dialysis treatment, a goal to which both the Taiwanese government and health sector are working towards. In Taiwan's Pingtung County, after the only elementary school closed down in Zhuhai Village, children had to bus to Mudan Township to attend class. As most of their parents work out of town, these youngsters are left wandering about the village after school. Not wanting to let their childhood go to waste, Pan Yifang established the Zhuhai Daycare Center, which provides a place for children to go to after school where they are fed and taken care of.
There are a lot of children here. We can play and do our homework here.
Sister Yifang helps us with our homework, and when we have tests come up, we don't play on the computer.
Pan Yifang, also known as Sister Yifang, is the big sister of this big family and is sometimes like a mother too. One minute she's helping the little ones with their homework, the next she's preparing their meals before heading out for work. I have to work to make more grocery money. I just want them to be healthy and happy. Finally, dinner is served and everyone gathers around the table to enjoy the meal Pan Yifang has prepared for them. In a village without an ATM or convenience store, the daycare center is where the children can find happiness, an abundance of love, and people who look after them from morning till night. I don't want them to have any regrets, but to have a happy and memorable childhood. When I was little, nobody was there for me. When something happened, I didn't know whose turn to or where to go.
My parents are not around because they're working, so I get really lonely. If it weren't for daycare, the 6 years of my childhood would have been very miserable.
With someone by their side, the children's homework is completed in no time. When they don't finish their homework, they panic and want to avoid school. These kids aren't lazy. They just need someone to guide and support them. Otherwise, they'll just give up before trying. Hand in hand, heart to heart, this is the children's second home. It is a fortress built out of love.
I get here as early as I can to look after the little ones. Sometimes Sister Yifang is busy preparing meals for customers. We're out buying groceries, so we watch the children for her.
Su Yueqi is only 13 years old. Here, older children look after the younger ones, and over the past 18 years, some 50 children have been raised here, yet they never forget to come back and help wherever they can.
The countryside is very different from the city. We bring what we have learned out there and teach our students here. They're just like our own brothers and sisters, but they're all afraid of me.
温柔吗？温柔啊，好勉强，好勉强，温柔。你果然很凶。
It's better this way. It's like how some seniors use foul language sometimes. But these older kids don't tolerate their brothers and sisters speaking like that. They'll get smacked. University students from all across Taiwan also come to help out during the summer holidays.
Although they might not remember us, at least they have a happy childhood.
We help tidy their surroundings so they have a cleaner and more comfortable place to study in.
Using their own time to canvass for donations and supplies, these children of the city all have a pure heart.
We have been given so much, so we want to give to those more in need.
Situated in the south of Taiwan, Shuhai is a very warm place. What's also warm is the love which exists between its residents and the love that has accompanied these children throughout their childhood.
The Tzu College of Technology recently joined hands with Taipei's Songshan High School of Agriculture and Industry in organizing a camp for 3rd to 6th graders of Hualien County's Fengli Elementary School. College and high school students teamed up and brought what they know to these youngsters, leaving them with an unforgettable experience this summer.
把它加上一些背景，你看这个图片，然后我们这个翻译图片里面。
Here, youngsters learn video editing techniques from their older brothers and sisters. The Tzu College of Technology has teamed up with Songshan High School of Agriculture and Industry for the very first time to organize this summer camp at Hualien's Fengli Primary School.
This interaction will help them learn from one another and grow. Apart from our students learning to give themselves, I hope there will be a spark or a connection between the two schools.
The making of handcrafts is also an opportunity for exchange. For these students from the city, this experience has been an eye-opener to the way of life in the remote countryside.
It's important to have empathy. In order to see the world through their eyes, we have to put ourselves in their shoes.
In the 3-day camp, this college high school team not only passed on their knowledge to these youngsters, but the opportunity has also broadened their own life horizons, making the holidays ever so fulfilling.
As some of the students from the Tzu College of Technology continue their summer tour in Malaysia and bring children's show to residents in Johor Bahru, the most recent stop was at Fun Yu High School, where over 2,000 people enjoyed the students' animated performance.
Dancing with the student performers, repeating their words of wisdom. Excitement fills the audience, as this is one show that they have been looking forward to for a long time.
He would keep reminding us of the date of the performance and told us not to be late. When they went back home, they discussed how eager they were to watch the show. Some kids who didn't get a ticket were disappointed. Some of them called me and asked if they could watch the show without tickets.
This is the 7th year the Tzu College of Technology student troupe has visited Malaysia. Over 2,000 people attend this most recent performance. Among them is an Indian family who, despite the language barrier, still enjoy the show.
Taught a lot of stories to the father. They will be acting, they will be showing whatever they do, whatever they see here, they will go and show the parents.
Joining in the dancing and singing, these kids also learn the wisdom of life.
I am happy.
The story tells us that forgiveness comes with happiness.
Parents also seize the chance to reflect themselves.
We adults can also study the messages behind these stories. Understanding these ideas, we can use them in our family life.
What moved me the most is that the story teaches us to forgive our friends when they make mistakes. We shouldn't punish ourselves for other people's mistakes. That's the spirit of forgiveness and tolerance.
As the show was widely enjoyed by parents and children alike, the troupe promises to come back again next year.
Back to Taiwan, a group of children taking part in a summer camp held by the Baolian Temple in Zhongli recently had a special guest by the name of Guo Weiqi, who was left without hands and feet following a childhood illness. Despite her situation, Weiqi has worked to master the piano and watercolor painting, and she hopes to inspire children with her story.
Hearing her play, one would never guess that Guo Weiqi is missing both hands. Although a childhood illness robbed Guo Weiqi of her hands and feet, however, as she explains to the children listening, she has never let her disability stop her from pursuing her dreams.
In the past, too many people helped me and took care of me. Now that I am older, I want to reciprocate that help. When she was playing, I was so moved. My whole body broke out in goosebumps.
The brilliant colors in her paintings reflect the brightness of Guo Weiqi's inner world and are an inspiration for everyone here today.
I want to learn her indomitable spirit.
She has inspired us. Even though we are whole, we still complain. We have no right to complain.
The children then try using their forearm to write their names and find it to be much more difficult than they imagined.
It hurts, it's so hard.
I want to encourage the children to be themselves and not give up on their dreams.
Thanks to Weiqi's willingness, this group of children have learned what matters most is your willingness to strive for your dreams.
8 music graduates from Taichung's Qingshui Senior High School in an 8-day trip traveled to various nursing homes and hospitals across Taiwan and performed songs on their musical instruments. On July 18th, they arrived at Hualien Tzu Hospital, where they brought warmth and affection to the patients through music.
The melodious tune adds a humanistic flair to the usual bustling lobby at the Hualien Tzu Hospital. Graduates of the music class of Taichung's Qingshui Senior High School are performing traditional Taiwanese classics for the seniors.
I'm so happy. These children have so much love. I'm truly moved.
Zhou Jiazhen, who initiated this idea, called on her classmates to join her as they travel across the island to various nursing homes and hospitals to convey their love through music.
When my grandmother was in the nursing home, I knew she felt lonely. To me, music is something which brings happiness and warmth, so I want to share this feeling with everyone.
The cost of the 8-day trip is funded out of the students' own pockets. They hope that with each performance, happiness and joy can transcend through their music into the audience hearts.
We stay in Taiwan at the end of today's program. As we draw closer to the lunar month of July, Tzu volunteers in Taipei's Zhongshan districts are getting ready to promote vegetarianism and have gathered to clean and disinfect all the lunchboxes. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.